Hello, I'm Yelveni. I'm from Class B of Makale with registration number 29112100. In this video, I'll make a practice of subject listening and speaking for academic purpose. And the video I'll take from YouTube, and now I'll practice it. Developing of a strategy for your organization is one of the most important things you as an organization can undertake, and yet it's one of those things that so often strategy fails, and it fails for a couple of reasons. It's that often organizations don't understand how to correctly formulate a strategy, or they fail to execute it effectively. Well, there's three key reasons why strategy is important. To first of those is that it really helps organization take the time to get a sense of how is forming what is the key capability. Those capabilities are capabilities they need to progress into the future. What are the weaknesses in the organization? What do they need to look and remedy? And what are the two capabilities they need to build in order to stay relevant into the future? Give an organization an opportunity to get a sense of how to performing, getting a sense of how they're performing internally, but also how they're performing with the industry against. There's competitor, but also against to the broader business community, and finally gives them a sense of the risks. What sort of risks are out there that could help affect their future growth, and how are they actually going to be able to address those risks? The second reason is that the strategy allows an organization to identify the opportunities for growth in the future. What is going out, there is the broader market space. What are the changes that are happening, whether they be political change, social change, or technological change? And I guess you're looking at the social media. This is the changing paradigm in terms of communication. How can organization look at those changes and mitigate the risk and find a way to grow? How do they look to grow, develop performance and the sustainability for the future? And the third, it is creates a vision and a direction for the whole organization is important. That's all members of the team understand what the strategy is asking to send your staff out of the desert to following mirage in search of a water. When staff don't know what the direction of organization it is, they'll fly over the place in search of some sort of answer, and most in the activities they undertake will not be correct. Having a vision ensure that everyone is clear about the goals and following that the direction of the organization is well. There is a key reasons that strategy fails, and the first is formulation. If organization to approaching it's strategy planning. It is strategy planning with the idea that it is about ticking off a box, then it's failed before it's even started. When we see organization that fail to commit correctly, it's really setting about strategic direction for the organization change, or it is all going to end up of the bottom drawer of the chief executive of vice. And it's probably where is the belongs because it's wrong. The second reason strategy fails is the strategy. The ideas, this direction for the future are developed, but the organization operation and structure of its technological structure is human resources structure are aligned with what the strategy is, so becomes look when it's meet with the actually organization process. And the third reason is that's a failed to execute because the organization has failed to get the engagement to staff and stakeholder to deliver on the strategy in developed just by the executive team, and they just expect the staff to follow through. That's when they're going to have resistance, and if you got staff resisting, the chance that comes with strategy that you strategies fail from the art. So there's 7 ways that an organization can go about developing and winning strategy. The first one is educate the right people. Now, the obvious thing, of course, is the ages, the executive attainment, and that's important, but it really works if when you're trying to get a strategy across organization, look at the important people in your organization. By first few hours, a message that's part of the process except is for what is don't getting angry and stressed, feeling like you want to get out of it, just accept and it's part of the process. Or know that as you keep working through, the strategy becomes more and more refined and becomes clearer for all. Also give and the time through formulation. The strategy is never going to formulate over a couple of days. You need to get strategy from the organization. Strategy brain write them when the way through the performance plan of individual, so it a good few months so that you can get it right. And finally, don't leaving this to outside experts to do things like focus group are absolutely critically from you to understand what going out there is the marketplace on what important to your organization. No research company is ever going to know your organization or your marketplace or your product like you to attend focus group. Listen, because you'll find some of the priceless moments, some of the great information about what going out there in the marketplace of what you will find no a third party and try to build your scope like be and just Competitive strategy is one of key principles around Blue Ocean Strategy, which is one of the new international benchmark in strategy planning. And what is say in that when we look just a traditional strategy with a base on comparator strategy, we start limit and our growth and profit opportunities. So look at the border like across your industries, look across marketplace, and even across to burden your view of the world, because when they develop plans based on the assumption of a competitive things, we can often find that our idea is outdated or even wrong for theory, creative business goal, and objectives that are really exact and measurable. What you're looking to do must meet with your organization its capabilities. If one fail on the 3 points, then we fail a strategy before we even got started. Ensure your company structure and process facilities rather than hinder the delivery out of your strategy. Make sure that when you develop your strategy and you do have the process that the organization from the technology to assume resources, the organizational structure actually are designed in a way that help you deliver on the strategy. There's too much to thought around this, and one is that strategy should meet the way your organization designed. That I do tend to prefer that other way around, because when you create a strategy that you're from the way that is already decided, you're already limiting yourself to the way you have been in the past in development strategy, and then bring the organization online. With that, you will facilitate growth and sustainability, create a clear course of action. Your planning doesn't finish with delivery of the strategy plan. Every plan across every development department should meet in a strategy plan, all the way through the performance plans of each individual for every business unit. Every individual should be a part of delivering on the future direction of your organization. If there is an activity coming talking about place that isn't a part of that, to get right off, it is just draining your organization of blood. And finally, the probably most importantly is communicate your strategy across the organization in the most critical point, because this is where most strategy fails, because while it may have been well formulated, it fails to achieve the rest of the organization. So it's critical of every individual needs to undertake how it needs to change in order to meet the strategic vision, and that the whole of every individual in delivering on the strategy ensure that each individual know their role and make it measured of evaluation in clear alignment with the strategic goals. So we educate their 7 participants when we commit in the when the we properly formulate and execute our strategies, we really position ourselves from the future. We ensure our organization is capability to reading to grow both now and into the future. There are my practice. Thank you for watching my video and goodbye.